Welcome back to the workshop. Tonight is really the second half of the Christmas inflatables repairs. And so on the first video, I replaced the fan on Yoda that had burned out. Now this one here is probably, it's like a 10-foot reindeer. It was given to us, we ran it one season, and then pretty much at the end of that, near the end of that season, the magic smoke escaped. And of course, the fans don't work without the magic smoke. So those fans definitely need to be replaced. They are two 1 amp fans. I think if I remember correctly, one in each leg. And it's wired together, and the power supply that it used was a 2.5 amp 12 volt power supply output. So I bought two individual 1 amp fan kits. They each have their own power supply. I was originally thinking that I was going to wire them together and use that 2.5 amp, but after looking at it, I might just run them separate and do it that way. Now, the lighting on this one, it has a little bit different lighting. It hangs down from the middle, and it appears the whole reindeer lights up that way. I haven't gone down entirely. There's at least two bulbs. I have to dig into it a little bit more. 3, might be 4 bulbs in line. So I think once I get the fans replaced, I'm going to reevaluate the lighting in this one. But if it's anything like the last, those fans should be swapped out fairly quickly and easily out of this reindeer. The only problem is that it's just sheer size and the amount of fabric on this guy. It's a big one. So I'll go ahead and get started. I'm going to set the new fans off to the side here while we tear out one of the old ones. I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to leave the lighting in place. I'm going to clip where it's tied in. That lighting will stay in place. This fan, I'm going to clip its wires. See if I can figure out, remember which side is up. It does like to have the shield up and the port for the wire pass-through down. So that's the bottom of the leg. I'm going to make note that the seam here is probably at about 12:30 to 1 o'clock. This zip tie is on the outside. That one. So the replacement repair kit that I got was from yardinflatables.com. I'm impressed on the shipping speed. I mean, it was here 3 days after ordering it. No sponsorship by them. This is just pure. Pretty impressed with their operations. So a big shout out if they were to see this video. Thank you for the wonderful kits that you have. All right, so that one's out. What do I do with the notes? Back here. All right, what did I say? That was up. It was about 12:30, 1 o'clock. Need a zip tie. Yeah, so the replacement kits not only come with the fan power supply, 2 attached lights, but it also comes with the zip tie. Not that zip ties are difficult to come by, but it is nice. It's a nice combination kit. You know, especially if you're not someone that carries a lot of that in their workshop or in their garage. It's a nice little bonus to have. Now, since I'm powering these separately, I've got to feed the power cord through. That's the light one. Where is it? What's the light one? Lights are white and the power cord is black. Not undone that one yet. That's okay. There's just a lot of material to work with on this giant reindeer. Foot. Let's see, that's up. Let me see if I can get you adjusted a little bit better. All right. Yeah, hopefully you can see a little better there. Fan into place. We've got the wire passing through. I should have probably tested this fan before I zip tied it in there, but that's okay. All right. One down. The green is the old lights. We're going to leave those and just hanging there and figure that out once I get the fans working again. Where did the other one go? Here it is. See, zip ties on the outside again. Lost the cutters in all the fabric. Yeah, it has a very wonderful burnt electronic smell. I forget what happened. I think we had an ice storm and it got soaked. Make sure I'm snipping all the right wires. Not any that I don't want to snip. Okay, fans out, wires are out. Right, other replacement. Of course, I didn't really take note as to the direction. The zip tie was up, so I'll give that about 12 o'clock, 12:30, 1 o'clock position again. Feed the zip tie through ahead of time before we put the fan in. Come on. Make the turn. Yep, there it is. Outside power cable through. Trying not to get that wound up around the white lighting cable. And so we're gonna have to, lighting's a bit different on this guy. So there was 4 lights in the original setup. So it's gonna be similar. I mean, there's 2 lights each on these fans, so each one will power 2 lights. Let's figure out how we want to do that after it runs. All right, both fans are in. That, super simple. I'm going to tuck the lights in there. And I want to test each one of these before I close it up and inflate it all the way, just to give it enough, just to give it a little, make sure the fans run. I have faith that they will. But before I move to the next step. Perfect. And check the other one. Perfect. All right, I'm going to take it over to the floor and let's get this zipped up. And I'm going to take it over to the floor and see if it'll stand itself up. All right, we know that the fans work again, so we can inflate it. And then once I was able to inflate it, I could open it up and really see where the lights were hanging. And they're really just hanging in the middle. The style is a little bit different. The lights I have in them right now is more like a Christmas tree light, where the regular inflatable lights are kind of a press-in LED light. So 4 lights on the old one, and 2 lights per each fan. I think what I'm going to try to do is split it. Now let's see if these are roughly long enough. And the fans come off of the back legs. All right, so the first, distance-wise, the first and third are about the same amount of wire. This is all, of course, all tangled up. Really, my only concern is that the wire is long enough to get up to the point that it was originally at. And I'm going to say it's going to be close. So we're going to give it a shot. And the old lighting was just tied onto these tethers. that was sewn into the middle of it. Where'd it go? Where'd the first one go? Okay, here's the first one. So we're gonna reuse that plan. I'm not even going to press fit in the lens into this. I'm just going to tie it off, hopefully. Wait, that's not the last one. Where'd the last one go? Or the first one? There's the first one. Oh, as I untie these knots, that's the first challenge. Oh, there may have been an easier way to do that. So they wrapped it around and then tied it. So let's do roughly similar. This is the first one. There'll be a little trial and error on this. Hopefully I don't have to extend these cables. Not that I won't or can't. I'll have to. We'll knot that. So interestingly, that middle one was just dangling in the middle, and the other two were tied off. I think the other two went down the back, which seems interesting. So we're going to leave the rest of the first one in there. Throw that in there. And then find the other fan. Is it this one? Which one did I grab? No. This one? Yeah, that one. So we're counting down from the end of the old light strand. 1 and 2 we're taking care of, and now numbers 3 and 4. Are still tied off. This is 1, 2 on the old light strand. Here's the one in the middle. And 4, and then the wires that I cut. It's about halfway. Oh, they actually did that as a very nice bow. Well, that was nice. Okay. That's free, and we're going about halfway on that string. Got it wrapped a few times, and then tied off with a bow of some sort. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not that good. I'll just tie it off that way, and then this last one is frayed. I'm afraid, haha, dad joke, I'm afraid we might have to cut this. Back a little bit maybe. Gonna give up, and I will work with what we have. All right, we can get rid of the old lighting entirely. Come on. And then this one. Tie off, wrap it around a few times. And then shove the reindeer's innards back in. I should probably get a little more graceful with the wiring. Okay, now give this a try. Almost success on this. All right, so that first one, the longest one that I was concerned about, is right about there, about mid-neck, where that longest one and the first one in the string falls. The third one that was tied off is right there in the belly, and number 4 is towards the hiney. Now, number 2 is just dangling and sitting there in the bottom of the gut. So I think what I can do is I'm going to tie off that one up to 3, and then 3 I am going to position somewhere hanging off of the number 1 cable. I guess what I'm going to do next. The downside about trying to figure out where these are hanging inside is that the zipper part is well at a awkward place of that reindeer. It's like giving the reindeer an exam from the underside where that zipper is. So yeah, kind of entertaining to, if you were to see me looking inside, it's entertaining. Yes, I'll leave it at that. All right, so let's figure out what we need to do. So this is the one that was dangling. This is going to move up to the first spot on the other light chain. Where is it? Dangling one off to the side. Doing my best to not get these tangled up. Ah, there's so much fabric. Okay. That's the one that's halfway. so just double checking. All right, so both of these are tied up. The half one, this is the end one. So this one, I'm going to take off. This is the first one, which is in the 1, 2, 3 position. No, I want this one. Times. And then go. Go with that. Now this one. I'm going to take off though. It's the end of it's always not tied there. What I'm going to do, somewhere, I had some cord. It's gone in the fabric. All right, here's some other ones. Where'd it go? This one. So what I want to do is I want to tie off some of this cord. I don't want to put knots in I really don't want to put knots in the wire, right? Because that would give a little too much strain on the wire. All right. And then right about that far down, I want to hang so about that far down. I want to loop it around. I want to follow this cord down. Create a knot there. So it'll hang that far down. And then at this point, I want to tie this one. Thanks. 1, 2, there's the nuts. And then cut this off. And I'll get a lighter and singe that end. Of course, I can never find a lighter when I need it. Just try not to catch anything on fire. A little bit of overkill, but that's okay. All right. That should hang. All right, we're going to give this a shot. Let's see if I can untangle some of this cord. It's going to fall. Might have to just try that inflated and see if we can work that out. All right, one last attempt for tonight. And then it's getting late. If I have to make any changes, I'll pick it up tomorrow. All right, so after I got that all wired up, I think I'm happy with it. So we've got one, and the other one, instead of being in the gut, is now more in the neck. So I'm pretty happy with that. So battery's running out. It's getting late anyhow. I think I'm gonna call this done for this video, and I think it's gonna be a done project. Just need to get it, put out in the yard. While I was editing this last video, we had an ice storm come through, and I had thought that these fan mowers had blown out, had burned out. They were sitting in water and had iced up, and then when turned back on, they had a really bad electronic burn smell. So this happened while I was editing the video. I figured I would make any repairs and corrections before I actually release this video. So fortunately, after things thawed out, the fan mowers still work. They still work great. I think I'm going to make a little improvement though with how this gets installed next year. I think I'm going to tie a cord and anchor that cord to the ground so that the fan doesn't fall all the way over. It would probably be nice if this was a heavy end and it would kind of more stay upright and not lay on the back as such, but I don't think that's going to happen. So I'm going to go ahead and tie up some cords for putting this out next year. We're pretty much already done with having this reindeer lawn blown ornament out for the year, so I'm going to pack it up and put it away for the season. The other thing that I ended up doing while I had this back inside was it was starting to tear along one of these seams. The seam was pulling out. In fact, there's a little bit more that I should probably sew right there before putting it away. But so I sewed that up, and was not really interesting enough to watch sewing. But I'm going to go ahead and tie some cord onto this, and that way for next year it will be set to go. Of course, I'm going to do this to both sides as well. But this will give me a reminder to anchor this down. I'll probably have to make an adjustment after it gets inflated into place. But if that's anchored down, that should be enough to give it some movement, not be able to lay on its face. So that'll be perfect for next year. Now I should fix this seam while I see it. So in any case, I'll go ahead and do that and get this put away. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe, hit the like button, and I'll see you in another video. Thanks. Bye.